attracting your person is not about the right window, and it's not about what is written in your chart. It's actually if you are ready, if you are energetically, spiritually, physically aligned with your person. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katerina and I bring astrology into lived experience. I tell you how you can figure out your loops, your patterns. I can help you to really get to the deep core of what is stopping you achieving your dreams, attracting your person. All these things are written in your chart, and I use astrology to decipher it for you and to really help you, because I truly believe the root, the core reason why you keep repeating things and patterns and loops is literally the reason why your life isn't the way you wanted it to be, whether that's financially, whether that's romantically, whatever it is, it's written in your charts. And I really just want to help people get to the sense of fulfillment and get to the sense of, like, I know myself and I know why I do things, and I don't want to repeat those patterns anymore because I know why. If that sounds like it interests you, and if it's something that you really want to dive deep into, I have got my readings open. All that is linked below. So I wanted to talk about this because it's very prevalent, and it has been prevalent in my life, and I know it's been prevalent in many other lives, which is when people talk about love windows. Now, I have a window this year. I have Jupiter conjunct Venus conjunct my Descendant. I know that could possibly bring not just love, but also partnerships, businesses. It's a really beautiful aspect. However, if I haven't done the healing, if I haven't worked on my attachment wounds, I am going to attract the same partner as before. When we talk about descendants, that's the kind of embodiment of someone that you would attract. That does not mean that that person is the right person for you or the wrong person for you. That just means the characteristics, the energy of the person is most likely what your descendant is. There are so many different factors to this. So if you use the whole sign process, you look at your seventh house, you look at who your seventh house ruler is, your descendant is always in your seventh house because your ascendant is always in your first house. So you have that sign, and then you look at where that's the ruler of that sign is. So for instance, I have Cancer Descendant, my moon is in my 8th house. So I will always have someone who, first of all, in the most plain, simple way, will transform me in some sort of way. My emotional state will evolve through love. Love will always be a little bit transformational. This amplifies that energy, that 8th house energy, because my Venus is conjunct Pluto in Scorpio. So love is always going to be some sort of transformation for me. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going through these cycles of death and rebirth within relationships, and therefore I will never find someone stable. This just means that it will catapult me into the next version of myself. It will evolve me over time. And that can be in a relationship. That can be someone who pushes you, who makes you be open, and therefore you transform within the relationship. But the key thing here, and honestly, the shadow work, the depths of your soul work, the core wound work, is something that people just do not speak enough about when it comes into astrology. Because yes, all of that stuff could happen to you. Yes, all the abundance could happen. But if you're living in the wounded version, none of that will happen. If you are living in the version that is scared and fears change and doesn't want to evolve, you will not get those things that the stars say you will get because you're not willing to get on the train. I always say this to people because they're like, oh, is money going to come into my life? Or is like love going to come into my life? And I'm like, if you get on the train, yeah. If you're standing at the train stop and you're standing there and these tubes are zooming past, but you're not stepping forward to get on one, even though you don't know where the destination is, you don't know where you're going, you just know that this opportunity has come up and you need to get on the train. If you're not willing to get on the train, if you are just wanting to stand on the tube stop, that's okay. I'm not shaming you. I am not trying to pressure you. But all I am saying is that opportunity will pass by. And therefore, another opportunity will come, yeah, for sure. But if you don't get on that one either, life goes past and you've missed the opportunities. And this can be even more prevalent when it comes to healing. If you're not willing to do the healing, then you don't realize that you are not getting on the train for love, for instance. You know, if I keep reacting from the same place of this anxious, avoidant attachment style that I have, I will not attract the partner, my person. I will attract the partner, the lesson. Both of those are fine. But there comes a point where you need to do the inner work, where you need to do the shadow work to understand your attachment styles. So therefore you can attract your person. And you could go deeper and say every person is a lesson, even if it is your person. Yeah. I am quite young, I think, especially as a Capricorn rising, I kind of do feel like I'm still young for that evolution. But I am 36 years old and I have been in very many relationships, whether it's dating or it's a full-blown relationship. And every single one of them has been a lesson, yeah. And it has made me realize how I have been attracting the person from my own frequency. I'm going to take it out of the stars for the moment and talk about the frequency of where you are at. So let's talk about attracting. I'm just going to be really, really brutally honest with this. Is an online. My life story has been attracting men who don't choose me. I have been waiting for men to choose me. And that doesn't mean that I've been sitting doing nothing, but it's more as in like I haven't walked away, knowing I should walk away because they are not choosing me. They are not choosing me in their words. They are not choosing me in their actions. They are in limbo in their own life. And I've had that multiple times. And it took last year for me to really appreciate, understand, and get to the core, like real raw reason of why I was attracting those people. And it sounds so cliche when I say it out loud, but like I wasn't choosing myself in the actions that I was doing, whether it's like choosing movement because I know it will help me grow, choosing learning because I know it will help me grow. I was choosing the same. I wasn't choosing me. I wasn't choosing my path. I wasn't choosing growth. I was choosing the same. And therefore, what did I attract? People who were not choosing me because I wasn't choosing myself. I'm trying to bring it into like lived experience, which is what I love to do. Whether it's frequency conversations or astrology conversations, the only way that I can bring it through lived experience is honestly with myself. And that's me being really open and like, it's scary because you don't know people online, but my ultimate goal is like to make you see, for you to have clarity, for you to open your eyes now and realize, oh shit, this is why I'm doing this. So I'm going to go through another few kind of ideas, but honestly, like the first one was like lived experience. But let's just say, I think I spoke about this last year of like the waiting zone. And it can be like, are you waiting to, I don't know, are you waiting to move forward in your life? Are you waiting for certain things? Are you waiting for clarity? Are you waiting for permission? Are you waiting for approval? Are you waiting to like go move to a different country if that's what you want to do? Are you waiting to take that job opportunity? Are you waiting to start the plan, the workout plan that you've got in your notions? Are you waiting for that? I've been there, trust me. Um, are you waiting? And if you are waiting, then who are you going to attract? Someone who is also waiting. You're going to attract someone who is not again choosing you, who is waiting for the perfect opportunity, who is waiting for clarity to see if this relationship is a good one. You will choose someone who's in limbo because you are in limbo. If you are someone who avoids, let's say you're avoidant attachment style, if you are someone who avoids, right? You avoid to say that you like them, you avoid to be intimate, you avoid being vulnerable. The deeper fear of that is like you avoid it because you fear that they're gonna walk away, so like you'll just walk away first. It's a really like basic view of avoidant attachment styles. But if you have that, right, you will attract people who just want fun, who don't want anything serious, even though you know deep inside that's what you crave. You avoid that intimacy, you avoid that depth, and therefore you attract people who only want fun. And then when they leave, you're left empty again because that the part of you that deeply wants that intimacy is left feeling unloved because you're not taking the first step to be vulnerable. And it is scary, being vulnerable is really scary, but it's either you be vulnerable and you move forward and you get rejected, or you keep going through this loop and this pattern of not being vulnerable, and therefore a big hole is left inside of you because you just don't feel like anyone sees you. And you want to be seen for who you are truly. But if you're not taking the first step to be vulnerable, then you're kind of just waiting again. So, yes, you could totally have your love window this year. You could totally have a person, if your descendant is like Cancer, like mine, you could totally have a Cancerian energy. That doesn't mean they are a Cancer, that just means they might be intuitive, they might be tapped into their emotions, they might have this like hard shell around them type thing, but inside they're just like really just want to be loved. So you could have that energy, but you also could have someone who you keep attracting because they need help. You are the helper, so therefore you're attracting people who need help. You're the healer, so you keep attracting people who need healing. And that energy is honestly, it starts with setting boundaries with yourself, with people around you, and then you will attract someone who respects your boundaries rather than attracting someone who stomps all over them because you're not setting those boundaries and being stern with them with other people. But regardless, you will still attract that type of energy, you know, It also could be someone who's super manipulative, who's, you know, who might deceive you a bit. You could go deeper into this if you looked at your Venus, and if you looked at obviously where the planet of your seventh house sign rules, like what that rules, aspects, all that stuff. But I'm just saying, as in, like, your person isn't like the person finally comes in your life who's mirrors that Cancer descendant energy. That is naturally the kind of people you may attract, or even like people who bring something out of you within a relationship. They might bring out that Cancerian energy within a relationship out of you. All of that stuff is always there, and you will keep attracting the partners who are taking from you. If you don't do the deep shadow work, if you don't work on your attachment styles, if you don't even know them, you know, I was in a relationship where like I genuinely had no idea about my attachment styles, and it took a process for me to understand my attachment styles. I did lots of things like to figure it out. I primarily worked with money, and I worked with like my financial process, and that made me understand, because it was saying, like, the question that I asked myself basically was, if money was a man, how would I treat it? And I just wrote this whole letter, and then I read it back and I realized, oh my goodness, this is how I am in a relationship. Like, that's wild. So then that kind of made me realize, okay, maybe I need to work on my attachment styles, and maybe that's the path to abundance as well. I'll try and find a quiz and link it below. Or by the time this video goes out, I might try and make one. I'll see how life goes. But it's really important to figure out your attachment style. I am 30% anxious, 30% avoidant, and then the rest is secure. The secure has been taught. I have taught myself through relationships, but also through understanding it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to put your like feeders out there. And also that secure feeling, like, it doesn't always have to be a relationship. Like I said, it can be money, it can be finances. I have taught myself to heal my relationship with money through my attachment styles. So if I did the test today, it might be more secure because I've learnt those patterns. At the time I did this, I think it was like a year and a half ago. So, you know, that was when I was like deep in my insecurities. The huge thing that I want you to understand, and I really want you to like your wounds, your loops, the reason why you do things, the reason why you keep repeating things, is stopping you from meeting your person. So if you are someone who keeps going through these lessons with men or women, and keeps like, you keep ending up in this process of being with someone who ends up deceiving you, or ends up hurting you, or ends up not choosing you, you have to sit with yourself and ask yourself, am I projecting this? Am I setting out a frequency, sending out a frequency that is telling other men or women, whoever, like, they can do those things to me? How am I with myself? If I say no to myself about something, am I honoring that no, or am I giving up later? The relationship that you have with other people often starts with yourself, and setting boundaries with yourself is one of the hardest things to do, because you have to honor it and keep on it. That means that if you say to yourself, no, I'm not going out this weekend, I'm not doing it for dinner or anything, I'm going to stay home and cook at home, I've got food at home, I'm going to do it. Even when you're in that really like phase of like that moment just before you make your decision on a Friday night, even if you're like, oh God, like, but everyone's having a good time, like, If you said no to yourself and you give up that no to go on a night out, you will come back feeling a little bit shit, or you'll come back and that will send out a frequency that you don't honor your own boundaries, so therefore other people won't either. I could go on about this subject for ages, and I genuinely realized this year that this is what I meant to speak about, because people just don't know that their loops are from like a core wound, and that wound is stopping them from attracting the opportunities that are meant for them, or stopping them from actually getting on the train, getting on that opportunity, saying yes. So yes, someone you could attract could definitely be a lesson, and there could be more than one. And that's ultimately because you are not doing the healing, you're not looking at yourself deeply, you're not understanding what your wounds are. So therefore you keep attracting the same people, the same energies of people, whether it takes 8 years to show up or whether it takes 6 months to show up. You're attracting the people that are not the healed version of themselves, because you are not the healed version of yourself. And that doesn't mean like I'm not here sitting saying like you need the ultimate healed version of someone, or you need to be the ultimate healed version of yourself before you start dating. But if you're acting from a place of wounded, if you're acting from a place of fear because of whatever your attachment style is, you are only ever attracting the people that are also in their wound, and you don't know what their wound is. So that could manifest into manipulation, into deception. It all starts with you. And this has been a real life lesson for me because, I'm approaching a window and it's a beautiful window. But if I don't set my boundaries and honor myself and release anything and anyone that doesn't serve me anymore, that window is kind of like gone and done, and it's fine. But I have that window once every 12 years, and I want to attract people, whether it's business partnerships, whether it's love, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to attract opportunities that are aligned for me, and make sure that I react from a place of healing and not wounded. Wounded is the external validation. Wounded is the I can help them, I can heal them. But that's not my job to do. Like, my job is to work on myself and send that love and light out to others. My job isn't to fix your state. So, if you are interested in understanding your core wounds and working through them with me, then I have my one-to-one readings, which are limited. So if any of that interests you, then all the links below are for that. And I will try and find or create a attachment style quiz if you're interested in that. And if it's in the link below, if it's in the description below, then I've done it. If it's not, then just comment in the video and remind me, and I will then put the link in. So yeah, if you're interested in me speaking more about attachment styles and me speaking more about love and attracting love and embodying the version of yourself that you want to attract, then let me know in the comments below. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and if you've watched this whole video, then hopefully that means that you loved it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.